So Zapier has launched its MCP server integration, and trust me, it's a game changer. No more dealing with the hassle of setting up MCP servers repeatedly. This new integration simplifies everything and solves many of the challenges we have faced with running multiple servers. You can now automate deployments, manage server configurations more efficiently, and streamline your entire workflow without touching the command line every time. Managing multiple MCP servers can be a nightmare. Running several servers simultaneously often leads to performance issues and connectivity problems. So if a server goes down or an API key expires, everything breaks. So for instance, if you have MCP servers timed out or they require constant refreshing just to keep them running, that is frustrating. But now the solution is very simple. Zapier's integration makes all of this so much easier. This new integration allows seamless connection to thousands of applications. Currently around 8,000 apps. So while not every app is available, the selection is still massive, covering most of the popular tools and services teams rely on daily. It opens up endless automation possibilities. Plus, it's free for individuals, which is incredible. Whether you're into coding or you prefer no-code tools, Zapier has you covered. Let me show you how easy it is to set up. Once you click on the Get Started button, you'll be taken to the dashboard. Under the Settings tab, you will see your Zapier MCP settings. So here you can generate your unique MCP server endpoint. So treat this endpoint as a password, like keep it secure. After generating it, you copy this URL and then you paste it in your MCP JSON file. In Cursor, I'll show you how. So you will need to paste in your endpoint right here in your MCP JSON file. So if you do not have already existing service, you just add this one as a new section. If you want to add MCP actions, say they are available as tools in your MCP directly within Cursor. Just click on the Edit MCP Actions button here. This will bring up a page with existing examples like drafting a new email in Gmail, creating a Google Calendar event, or sending a Slack DM. So there are a lot of other tools you can add to. For example, if you're using a Slack integration, you can now access specific tools from that integration as MCP actions via Zapier. Not the entire integration though, just the specific function you need. So when it comes to tools availability, I have noticed there aren't many options geared towards coding. Some major MCP servers like the Superbase MCP, you can see those are missing. But for productivity and social apps, most of the big names are covered. For example, ClickUp, there is HubSpot as well, and Google Calendar, and even some that didn't originally have MCP servers. So if they exist in Zapier, you can now add them as MCP tools. One notable coding-related integration is Postgres. With Zapier's MCP, you can actually write to a table, not just read from it. So that's a setup from the official Postgres MCP server, which only supports read-only queries. Through Zapier's version, you can insert new rows, update existing ones, and run queries directly. The setup process is quite simple. Once you have added the MCP server you want, you'll need to connect your Postgre account. So here, you would need to enter the required database details depending on how your database is posted. If you have multiple tables, you need to configure them one at a time. So for each table you want to use, you'll need to go through the setup process again. So if you ever decide you don't need it anymore, you can just click delete and the action will be removed. Another handy tool they offer is Web Parser by Zapier. To add it, just search for it whenever you are creating a new action, and it should show up right away. Once you open it, you see that this action lets you parse the content of a web page using a URL you provide. You have two options here. Either you let the AI guess the value for the URL field, or you manually enter a specific one. So in this case, we're going with AI guess value, because we don't want to hard code a specific URL. This allows the agent to dynamically use whatever URL is provided at runtime, rather than being stuck with a fixed link. So after that, you just click on Done and make sure the action is enabled. So when you go back into Cursor and open the Add Actions menu, you'll now see the Web Pass by Zapier available as a tool. I gave it a test run too, asked it to parse the Zapier homepage, and it worked really well. This tool was successfully triggered. It even analyzed the code. So it didn't just extract the surface level text, it identified the core value proposition, summarized key features, and even highlighted Zapier's market positioning and security credentials. So the tool also picked up on structured content like the customer logos, section headings, features, enterprise capabilities. Those were the headings present, and it was able to analyze the underlying code, such as the CSS classes, to understand the page layout styling. So overall, the app shows that the tool is capable of not only retrieving the content, but also organizing and summarizing it in a meaningful way, making it a reliable option for automated web content analysis. Another big plus is authenticating through Zapier is way smoother compared to alternatives like Compose Your Random MCP servers, where you often have to manually handle authentication just to get them working. So stick around for an exclusive demo from Zapier's CEO Ryan Homing, showcasing real-world integration with Slack and Jira.
Hey folks, this is Brian. I'm one of the co-founders and CTO here at Zapier. Today we got something really cool to announce. It's our MCP integration for Zapier. And what this does is allows you to connect your AI assistant to any of the thousands of different apps we support, which include 30,000 plus different actions. And this lets you go beyond kind of just basic chatting, where you can send messages to Slack or MS Teams, you can find tickets, you can create tickets, you can manage MRs, all these kind of cool things. And you get the ability to do this with a lot more control and scale that Zapier provides. The way you set it up, pretty simple. You generate your MCP endpoint, you configure your actions. So you get a lot of control over this, which fields, which accounts, that lets you turn on and off different actions. So you're able to really kind of control this. And you just paste it in to whatever AI assistant you happen to be using. I'll show a demo here using Cursor, but any AI assistant supports MCP in the future will work just fine. So let's get started. So you hop over into your MCP settings. You're going to copy this in. And in this case, I'm just going to paste it into Cursor, and I paste it into something like this. Then you want to go in and edit your actions. You'll see right here, I only have 2 set up, but you can go in and add as many as you like. This allows you to set up all kinds of different settings. So if I click in and I look like, okay, I can choose which action I want. I can choose which account. I can choose which channel, or I could even have the AI guess that channel, and then you could go in and start to configure even more of these. I have a lot of these with just defaults, but you can go in and customize this however you like. Again, letting you kind of restrict what the agent or the assistant can actually do. Now, it doesn't just stop at the examples I have here with Slack and Jira. We have lots of different apps, but everything from GitHub to GitLab, Slack, MS Teams, Jira, Trello, you get the idea. There's a lot. So let's see a quick little demo here. We're going to post a little message into our testing MCP channel, but we're going to do it from Cursor here. We're going to say hello to the testing Slack channel. And I'm using GPT-4o today because I noticed that Sonnet, my favorite to use, is actually having some issues. But you can see that we've got all of the options defined in here. We're going to go ahead and run the tools. Now it's going to provide some of the information into testing, but we're not actually going to use that. We're actually going to use our settings. So no matter what it tries to send through, we get control over where it actually goes. Great. So let's hop back over here and let's say, actually, we noticed a little bug, right? Down here in this little example is like we have a thinking flag where we want to shut that off if the model is another type of thinking model, not just O3 or O1. So let's say let's add a Jira task to swap perform thinking false if R1 is chosen. All right, let's go ahead and send that away. All right, as it comes through, we're going to take a quick look. Looks pretty good to me. Let's go ahead and send that along. Again, if it sends us extra parameters, it doesn't matter because we're filtering all that out on the other end. A very classic hallmark of what goes on inside of an LLM. If we refresh a few times, and there it is. It updated. So with that, it kind of gives you a good idea of the sorts of things you can do using MCP. Again, we have lots and lots of different apps supported. I encourage you to go check it out and give it a shot. And let us know if you have any feedback. We're actively working on this and want to make this a great experience. All right, see you, bye.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more exciting updates.